Hey guys, it's Caleb, and this is what I taught this morning at FCA. So if you guys want to dive in with me, we're going to get straight into it. Alrighty, so we're going to go a little bit slide by slide. We're going to start off with reading Mark chapter 6, 1 through 6. Jesus left there and went to his hometown, accompanied by his disciples. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were amazed. "Where did this man get these things?" they asked. "What's this wisdom that has been given him? What are these remarkable miracles he is performing? Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters with us?" And they took offense at him. Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives, and in his own home." He could not do any miracles there except lay his hand on a few sick people and heal them. He was amazed at their lack of faith. So what he's kind of saying here is, when a prophet, when he said when a prophet has honor but not in his own hometown, Jesus is saying since he was born here and he was raised here, and for 30 years before he came out and said, "I am God," everybody just looked at him as a regular person. Everybody looked at him as a regular human. He was just another person of the world. So he can't do the miracles. They don't believe that he's doing the miracles because they never will. My example is when you go to a random just family get together, or you see somebody you haven't seen in forever, and all they think about is, "Oh, I remember when you were really little and I was changing your diapers, or when you used to be running around the house, whatever." And when you try to tell them that you're growing up and you're doing different things in the world, they just don't believe you because they will always view you as what you used to be. Now we're going to read chapter 6, 7 through 13. Then Jesus went around teaching from village to village, calling the 12 to him. He began to send them out by two and gave them authority over impure spirits. These were his instructions: "Take nothing for your journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in your belts, or sandals, but not an extra t-shirt. Whenever you enter a house, stay there until you leave the town. And if any place will not welcome you or listen to you, leave the place and shake the dust off your feet as a testimony against them." They went out and preached that people should repent. They drove out many demons and anointed many sick people with oil and healed them. So 7 and 8, this is important because he says, "Bring nothing." So when Jesus says bring nothing, he knows that they're going to be on this journey for a long time, and he's going to fuel them because even though he's not going to be with them, they're going to be fueled by their faith and fueled by their love and passion for spreading the Bible. It's kind of a similar idea to with fasting, when you only have water, and you, like, if you do a food fast with only water for a little bit. I just got off a fast myself. You're fueled by your love for God and your faith that he will help you out. You just keep reading and you keep trying to get closer to God. You just keep him close and he will fuel you throughout the day. Another example is like when people do fasting from even social media. They'll do fasting for like 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever, and they just don't use TikTok, Snapchat, all that stuff. And they just focus on their relationship with God, not this outside noise. The next thing I wanted to point out is verses 10 and 11, when he's saying, "Try to spread the word to however many and however much that you can. But if they decline," he says, "dust off your feet as a testimony to them." So that's saying, like, do not hold it against yourself and do not hold it against them. If they don't want to hear about the Bible, they don't want to hear about how Jesus is and always will be the creator, and Jesus always will be God. Jesus always will be there for you. If they don't want to hear about it, then you can revisit it on a different day. Maybe they'll come to God on their own, but don't hold it against them and don't hold it against them or against yourself. So now we're going to read 30 through 44 and talk about what kind of just stuck out to us. So let me flip to it here. The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all that they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a remote place and rest for a while." For many people were coming and going, and they did not have time to eat. So they went away in the boat by themselves to a remote place. But many saw them leaving and recognized them, and they ran on foot from all the towns and arrived ahead of them. When he went ashore, he saw a large crowd and had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. Then he began to teach them many things. When it grew late, his disciples approached him and said, "This place is deserted, and it is already late. Send them away so that they can go to the surrounding countryside and villages to buy themselves something to eat." "You give them something to eat," he responded. They said to him, "Should we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give it to them so they can get something to eat?" He asked them, "How many loaves do you have? Go and see." When they found out, they said, 5 and 2 fish. Then he instructed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups, hundreds and fifties. He took the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves. He kept giving them to his disciples to set before the people. He also divided the 2 fish among them all. Everyone ate and was satisfied. They picked up 12 baskets full of pieces of bread and fish. Now those who had eaten the loaves were 5,000 men. So, there's a couple things I took away. The fact that Jesus is still getting crowded by people, as we know in Mark 2, we were talking about that. How now he can't really go village to village as much because everybody's going to crowd him. Everybody just wants a miracle. And that's why he's kind of sending his disciples out. The second thing is that he teaches all throughout the night, and he goes on the boat ride, and he goes to just a place that is less packed. Third thing is he feeds 5,000 people. So for perspective, there's probably like 30 people in your classroom or 50 people at your job. There's probably 250 in the class you graduated with, like 1,000 in your entire school. At least that's how it was for my school. And 5,000 people is just a lot of people, you know? And my last thing is there was enough food to have everybody satisfied. So in this context, satisfied would mean like full. They can't eat anymore. They're satisfied. They're done. Next, we're going to read 45 through 53. Immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go. Okay, for context, this is now walking on water. He made his disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. After he said goodbye to them, he went away to the mountain to pray. Well into the night, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and he was alone on the land. He saw them straining at the oars because the wind was against them. Very early in the morning, he came toward them walking on the sea, and he wanted to pass by them. When they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost and cried out because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke with them and said, "Have courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." Then he got into the boat with them, and the wind ceased. They were completely astounded because they had not understood about the loaves. Instead, their hearts were hardened. So from that, we know there's a couple big things. One of them being the fact that he's on a mountain. It's dark. It's like the middle of the night, well, early morning. So the sun is not even rised yet or just rised. And Jesus can see them. He catches up to them, and he just keeps proving that he is God through these just divine revelations, which we're going to get into. The second thing is the fact that they said here he wanted to pass by them, right? Like quoting he wanted to pass by them. So this doesn't mean he wanted to ignore them. In the Old Testament, God/Jesus passing by you was code for him showing his glory. So my two examples were Exodus 33:19 through 22 and 1 Kings 19:11. So Exodus 33:19 through 22. Then Jesus said, "Now show me your glory." And the Lord said, "I will cause all my goodness to pass in front of you, and I will proclaim my name, the Lord. In your presence I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." But, he said, "you cannot see my face, for no one may see me and live." Then the Lord said, "This is a place near me where you may stand on a rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you in a cleft in the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face must not be seen. The second one is 1 Kings 19:11. The Lord said, "Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." So, Jesus walking on water, proving that he's God, and the term passing by, which we can connect to other contexts in the Bible, is a formula, I guess, that would equal divine revelation. So, divine revelation is when God makes himself known to people through his character, nature, or identity. So, not just doing something powerful, but also showing who he is. There's two types of revelation. So, the first one is general revelation. So, God revealing himself through creation, aka like Psalm 19:1, which says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands," right? Everybody sees this, and he's just revealing himself through creation. The second one is special, aka divine revelation. God reveals himself directly through his words, actions, presence, or just through Jesus. So, we'll go into more depth about divine revelation, general revelation, and just God revealing himself later down the line. But those are my examples for today, and that was my takeaway. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everybody that came to FCA this morning. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and can't wait to see you next week. Have a great day. Goodbye.